Ron DeSantis in Florida. This is pretty good. Ron DeSantis is a Republican from Florida in the U.S. House of Representatives, and he has attached a rider to the must-pass government spending package that this has to be passed, which says that Robert Mueller cannot investigate anything at all after 6 months from now. His funding runs out in 6 months, 180 days. That's it, Mueller. That's all you got. And not only that, he also wants to limit the investigations that Mueller is doing so that he cannot investigate anything that happened before June of 2015. Now, this is exactly what the Republicans did with the investigation into Iran-Contra, or damn close to what they did. They said that you may not, they told themselves and they told the Iran-Contra investigators, you may not look at anything that happened prior to January 20th, 1981. In other words, you can't look at the campaign. Now, in this case, you can't look at just before the campaign. But the effect is the same, right? We know where the crimes are and where they were committed, and we're not going to let you look there. So keep an eye on this Ron DeSantis legislation. If you want to call Congressman DeSantis and let him know what you think about it, the number is 202-225-3121. This from the Iran-Contra story by Seymour Hersh in 1990, April 29, 1990. The headline in the New York Times, the Iran-Contra committees, did they protect Reagan? The answer in a nutshell, yes. Senior members of the Senate committee agreed from the outset that specific evidence of a presidential act of commission, in other words, proof that Reagan actually did something, would be necessary before Reagan himself would become a target of the investigation. So this is the equivalent of saying, before you can investigate Trump, you have to prove that he committed a crime. Then you can investigate him. This is what they said about Reagan. You have to prove that he committed a crime before you can investigate him. No amount of presidential negligence or nonfeasance, they decided, would justify a potential impeachment proceeding that could be dangerous for the nation. As a result of these constraints, many leads, some of them startling, were never pursued or made public. This is in the 1998 Iran-Contra investigation. The committees repeatedly interviewed a key White House insider who insisted he had seen 2 documents, each detailing the illegal diversion of funds that were meant for the president's eyes. This is for Reagan. This informant, a Navy enlisted man with a long record of handling secret documents and information, was willing to testify about what he had seen, but the Republicans in the committee decided not to put him on the stand. And it goes on from there. It's like 12 pages long. Seymour Hersh detailing all the ways that in the late 1980s and early 1990s that the Republicans essentially deep-sixed, destroyed the Iran-Contra investigation because they had to protect the reputation of St. Ronnie, even though more senior members of his administration were convicted of felonies than any other administration in the history of the United States. Ronald Reagan ran the most corrupt White House in history until now. And, well, we don't have convictions yet, but just kind of looking around, you say, well, this is pretty bad. And this is how Republicans stopped those investigations. Jerry Ford stopped, pardoned Nixon, stopped the investigations into Nixon. George Herbert Walker Bush issuing pardons for the Iran-Contra figures in Reagan's administration, stopping the investigations into Reagan. It's a nonstop cover-up machine.